Hey everyone, welcome to the second day of the DAOist. Super excited to be here and share a little bit about Topgg, Discord DAOs, and best practices. So thank you so much for joining us. If we haven't met already, I'm Kristin. I'm flew from San Francisco on Sunday, and I'm the CEO of Topgg, which I'll share a little bit about more, but it's the #1 place to find Discord bots and servers, and also, most recently, DAOs. And I'm also a member and contributor in a couple DAOs, but most notably Crypto Culture and Society, to shout out to anyone else here from there. All right, so we have a couple different topics today, but I wanted to start off by getting a show of hands. Who uses Discord here? Okay, so keep your hand up if you often feel confused or overwhelmed by Discord. All right, so feeling is mutual. I'm hoping to give some tips and tricks to help dissipate that feeling today, but let's get into it. So if you haven't used Topgg before, it is most well known as the discovery layer for Discord, #1 place to find Discord bots, servers, etc. And we recently launched DAO Discovery. We're working on building, becoming a hub for community building and discovery. And just a quick overview, you've probably used us if you've been looking for a different Discord bot or server, but a lot of developers and also creators and DAOs will often come to Topgg to list their projects and get growth. And so questions I get a lot from community managers or DAOs are, what's the best moderation bot? What's the best calendar bot or scheduling bot? You come to Topgg, you search for the bot you want. And one thing I want to call out is every single bot on Topgg is hand curated and reviewed by a team. If you didn't know, bots can often be an abuse vector, and a malicious bot can actually destroy your server. So make sure you check them out on Topgg. You can actually see ratings, reviews, and also how many Discord server a bot is in, and sort by that as well. We recently launched DAO Discovery, as I mentioned before, and so if you want to check out top.gg/DAO, you can not only list your DAO, but also explore other DAOs, leave ratings and reviews. We just launched our MVP, and we're hoping to iterate a bit more. This is Shark DAO, and shout out to Del Piero for being one of the people who helped us test our MVP. So we have a big community of folks that are very Discord savvy and excited about communities, building, et cetera, and we really want to be a part of helping onboard the next billion users to Web3, much like I'm guessing a lot of you here in this room. And so it just takes 5 minutes to add your DAO to Topgg. We'd love to help you set it up. So I'm here. Mike, in the audience, if you want to say hi, Mike, is also part of Topgg and our resident Discord bot expert. So we're very happy to help if you want to add your DAO to Topgg, or if you're building an amazing Discord bot, just like the Guild team built before as well. We also have a great resources page because we want to promote Web3 accessibility and education. So if you have some great resources that we can add, please get in touch with us. We'd love to add them here. And we're just getting started, so we want to iterate. We're indexing DAOs for now, but we also want to start indexing DAO tools, and we're looking to collaborate with a lot of different teams. Right now, we've been talking to DeepDAO to see how we can enhance this with on-chain data. We've also had some great chats with Emily from Otterspace, if you want to say hi, Emily, for DAO Onboarding, and also the awesome Wonderverse team as well. So let's get into a couple Discord bot insights and trends. So you can obviously come to Topgg and search, but I wanted to just highlight a few bots that I'm often asked the most about. Utility bots are probably the most common bots on Topgg and the most popular. You can customize them to your liking. Mumu is a bot developed by our community lead. That's one of the top 40 Discord bots that helps with member engagement, leveling, custom commands, and announcements. Arcane is another big customizable one as well for leveling. Koya is a big one for RSS feeds, and of course, CaptchaBot helps with security, et cetera. We have a lot of moderation bots on the platform, but the two most notable ones are Dino and Probot, just because they have a lot of custom commands, and then role management. Something really important, we'll get into onboarding in a second, is to think about how you want to manage roles in your server. And so Carlbot and reaction roles are two pretty popular ones. One really exciting thing that's happening in the space is, a lot of folks are building incredible Discord bots. I met folks at ETH Denver. I'm meeting folks here today, and I think there's so much room for opportunity to develop more Web3, crypto, and DAO bots in the space. So I wanted to highlight a couple fun ones here today that you might want to add to your DAOs, or hopefully these spark a couple ideas. One of my favorite bots is the WTF bot by Protein, which is a Web3 glossary bot. So you can type in a command, get a definition, and also you can contribute definitions. They have an Airtable, and if you contribute to their glossary, you can get rewarded in the Protein token. So if your DAO is a place for a lot of new folks or I guess folks who are new to Web3, highly recommend this one. Two most popular bots to send crypto are probably TipCC and VTip that you can see here. Another favorite is music Discord bots. Those are probably one of our most highly searched categories on Discord. And if you've been in the Discord bot space, there was an unfortunate event last September where YouTube shut down a lot of the big Discord bots, so Rip, Groovy, and Rhythm. But Matthew Chen was inspired by this, and he said, wait, let's solve this with Web3, and thus BPM Music Bot was born. And this bot actually plays NFTs from Zora, SoundXYZ, and catalog work. So highly recommend adding it if you have a voice channel in your DAO or Discord server, or if you want cool intro, outro music. Pretty awesome. Another recommendation is GM Bot. This is made by Layer 3. It adds some fun gamification if you have a GM channel in your Discord. It has a little leaderboard, streaks, etc. Also have to give a shout out to Medusa Bot by the Guild team. Really incredible bot for different sorts of gating and permissions for your Discord server. You can use a combination of NFTs, tokens, or POAPs, or one or all of the above. So highly recommend that. And if you're like me and you're not a fan of high gas prices, you can also add the gas notifier bot for yourself or for your Discord and get alerted when there's kind of dips there. So these are just a few. You can go on TopGG and check out Web3 or crypto bots and see a lot more. And if there are any you know of that aren't on TopGG yet, or if you're building a Discord bot, please get in touch with me or Mike Veld in the back. We're really happy to help. All right, so we don't have a ton of time today, but we often do a lot of workshops on different sort of community best practices, 5 different pillars up here. We're gonna dive into onboarding, but if you have questions about any of the other ones, please get in touch with us. We're happy to do a deep dive. DAOs are, I guess, we're just getting started with DAOs, but there's a lot of great lessons we can learn from larger Discord servers or communities. So the largest Discord servers are Axie Infinity and Genshin Impact, up to 800,000 members. Our own TopGG server has about 180,000, but there are so many lessons that we can learn as kind of your community scales. So let's dive into onboarding. I want to highlight first a couple best practices from Mimu Bot. They're known for having a really wonderful support community. The bot's I think it has about 10 million daily active users, 1 million servers, and their community is about 30 to 40,000 people. And so Vanessa, who's our community lead and creator of this bot, shared a few best practices here just about the importance of very clear onboarding. We recommend a self-help format, and also just having an overview where you cover the structure of the community, points of contact, and then really outline where different activities occur. Another important thing about Mimu is having very clear guidelines from expected etiquette, values, very concise and easy to digest, and this also helps users understand if they're violating rules or how you're going about moderation. Acknowledgement is optional, but I highly recommend it, and especially as your Discord server grows, this becomes incredibly important. And so having some sort of verification check, whether it's the Guild Medusa Bot, whether it's CAPTCHA, whether it's reacting or writing a message or some sort of acknowledgement, will really help filter out potential abusive behavior or raids in the future. And we often find, when a community's small or just growing, it's not a big deal when it's 30 people, but as you get to hundreds or thousands of users, or you have huge influxes of users, it's really important to kind of have these safeguards. I had the amazing opportunity to be the co-lead for community and onboarding for crypto culture and society when it started in semester 1. And so I wanted to share a little bit about how we approach the onboarding process in hopes that it perhaps sparks some ideas or there's some great key takeaways here. One thing I want to note is that we decided to make our server public initially when we launched Crypto Culture and Society, and we wanted to have a very simple and clear onboarding process because a lot of folks coming here were very new to Discord, they're very new to crypto, and we wanted to make it a really engaging but simple experience. So I know there's a lot of channels you see here, but initially when you came to our server, you would only see this values channel, and then the other channels would kind of unlock as you went through the steps. So highly recommend thinking about your values early, making them very clear, and also when you share them, make sure you put a point of contact for if a user sees something going wrong, like where do they report that? Is it a channel? Is it a person? Is it a community manager? Next step for onboarding is orientation. And for us, we decided that we wanted to just have very simple, quick FAQ, resources about the history of crypto society and culture, and then also kind of a guide for those new to Discord. Another example I want to highlight is from DAO Masters. I always share this because there's this open question of, right, how do you scale your DAO or onboarding processes, but also have that kind of human touch? And it's a really tough balance. DAO Masters, what I really admired was any new member that joined the Discord, Nelson would actually book a one-on-one with them and sit down, get to know them, understand how they want to contribute, et cetera. So I think this really depends on, the size of your DAO, kind of the, contributors you have and how you want to approach it, but really recommend just having clear orientation and onboarding. Introduction channels are super important and can be used in a lot of different ways. But one thing that was important to us at CCS was having kind of a clear format for introductions. I think sometimes people get confused and they wonder, is it okay to shill here? Is it not? What's kind of that level? And having a clear example and guide of what to do helps break down that barrier to friction. Another thing that we did, and this is more of the human touch, is that in the introduction channel, we actually leaned into having this sort of greeter role where different contributors would come in, such as myself, and as people join the server, introduce themselves, we'd actually look for other folks with similar backgrounds or common interests and tag them and respond to them so that they could make those first connections and start kind of connecting for coffee chats or one-on-ones outside of general. I think if you join a Discord server, some of the large channels can be really daunting or it can be kind of scary to reach out to someone. So if someone in the community that's known as kind of breaking down those barriers, making that connection, that's great. I'm always asked for a bot that does this. I don't know of one yet, but Discord search makes it pretty easy to do. So really recommend doing this as a practice in your DAO if you haven't done it yet. And last kind of step of our onboarding, step 3 was, I think, when people join a Discord server, sometimes you wonder, what do I do first? Do I volunteer? Do I say something? Where do I go? I don't want to say the wrong thing. And just having a really clear guide for how to get started in your DAO is really important, whether it's directing someone, to the GM channel, directing someone where to have a discussion, directing them to resources. This is, super, super important. So these are just a few small tips and tricks. We had a really great workshop yesterday with Otter Space that we hosted, and it's just so clear that DAO onboarding is a huge pain point. So really excited to discuss with everyone and brainstorm ideas together and share ideas. And another point I wanted to add is we've kind of passed the torch for crypto society and culture to the next semester. And one thing the team did was sit down and redo kind of the entire onboarding process as the DAO grows and evolves. So I want to remind everyone that onboarding is kind of this living, breathing process that you shouldn't be afraid to adjust. And it's something that will have to change as your DAO grows, as the mission might evolve. It's really important to kind of reflect and kind of rescope that to fit your DAO. So I wanted to leave a lot of time for Q&A. So if you have any questions, feedback, et cetera, please, raise your hand and they'll toss you the mic.
Hi, I'll go first. So there's a lot of interest in building Discord for Web3.
Sorry?
There's a lot of interest in building a version of Discord for Web3, so Orbis and Nifty, and I know at least a couple of other groups who are trying to build a version of Discord that works on these completely decentralized platforms, even hosting and everything. I mean, probably serverless in some way, but I'm not sure. So my question is, have you looked into trying to integrate your bots into this new, whatever form of Discord that will probably emerge very soon? Which doesn't use centralized servers?
Yeah, there's a couple projects that I've kind of heard of, or a couple different projects working on a decentralized version of Web3. I would share, if you're working on that, or to other folks, definitely think about the developer ecosystem for those. So we actually don't create these bots. We have an amazing community of developers who launch their bots on Topgg, and so I would encourage anyone working on kind of a decentralized version to think about the developer community. I think that's one way Discord grew really fast, right? They would never have the amount of resources to build all these kind of custom features. So if there are ways, or if there's any way you can make it easier for developers to kind of hook into your ecosystem or build a version of their bot for the decentralized version of Web3, I think it's a really important area to invest in. But if you are working on decentralized versions of Discord for Web3, please get in touch. I'd love to learn more. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Hi.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm curious about, you have mentioned the balance between using bots to automate and reduce overhead as well as having the humanity touch to make sure that people feel welcome at a personal level. Yeah. How do you see might be some best practices in balancing these two, so you don't wear the team out, but at the same time, people don't feel it's just another server I joined?
Yeah, I definitely think that is a challenge that is harder and harder, especially as you scale. So a couple of things. I think one, I know I didn't get to dive in, but people often ask us about like best practices for your community staff teams, right? What's the right mix of moderators, community managers, et cetera? I think it's important, one, to make sure your staff team scales with your server. I think our server is about 180,000 people. We probably have a staff team of 30 to 40 people so that we can have 24/7 coverage and make sure we have kind of that human touch, especially around trust and safety issues. I think onboarding is a place where there needs to be some form of human touch, especially with someone's first point of contact with your DAO or your server. That can be done in different ways. It could be in one-on-ones. It can be in kind of weekly or bi-weekly onboarding calls, et cetera. And I think also having events or kind of quarterly or bi-weekly, AMAs, whether it's just coming out and hanging in a voice channel or having a more kind of dedicated time where people from your team or your server staff kind of get involved and have that kind of human touch or AMA with the community is really important. So I think you can think about, events at scale, smaller events, et cetera, but you need some degree of human touch, especially with Discord. Things can feel very kind of faceless or, sometimes not like you feel very disconnected. And so having a lot of different ways to make sure that people can put a face to the name or different kind of events is really important. But I think that it is this kind of constant battle, right? Because as your community grows, it's like, you can't meet with, like in Topgg, we can never meet with every single person one-on-one. It's just too many people. But how do we kind of have that scaled human touch or also tap into our community to help us, have more events or bring more of that to the table? Oh, yeah.
So, hi, thanks for the talk. I guess I saw a very interesting logo. Like we all know, like the capture bot just got hacked and got a lot of troubles. Like, is there something like Topgg could help, like to help users identify which bot is like at a better security level or like is audited? That kind of things. Like because when we get into a channel, there could be like thousands of bots there. We don't know which one is good, which one is bad, right? Like, is there anything could
yeah,
help?
so Topgg is a great place for that, right? Like always, like there are different bots that get hacked or have vulnerabilities, and scams are something that's very prevalent on Discord, like whether it's in Web3 scams or just other scams. So Topgg specifically, I think a couple good metrics to check are one, like what are the ratings and reviews of that bot and when were they written? And then also checking, when that bot was last updated and also how many servers it's in is a good idea, right? Like there are some smaller, better bots with high reviews, but also typically bots that are in more servers are a bit more kind of trusted and vetted. Also on Topgg, most of the bots will have a support channel or a support server you can join to go and get more information or kind of ask questions. So if you're evaluating a couple bots, definitely check them out on Topgg. Go to the support server, talk to the developers, et cetera. I think it's really important to kind of vet them depending on what you're looking for. Yeah. Oh, yes. I think that's at time. Mike and I will be outside if you want to ask us any questions, and we have some Topgg swag, so please come and take that off of our hands so I don't have to take it back to San Francisco. Thanks again for coming, everyone.